What, Ben? No, I don't really care if you use a calculator. The numbers are very easy, so you really don't need a calculator. All right, but here we go. All right, first page 300. Now it says 3 through 34, but we're going to start with 1. All right. Now the only thing different is you're going to some of the word problems are going to be included. So please look up. It's very, very simple. Very simple. All right, but today's a very good review of everything we did before the trip. All right, so question number 1. I need everybody to look up and make sure that they see the boat has an 800-pound capacity. All right, now it says if 4 people plan to use the canoe with 60 pounds of supplies, write and solve an inequality to find the allowable average weight per person. So we need somebody to set me up an inequality that represents that. Come on. You can't come in interrupting. All right? You've already spent some extra time outside of class. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. All right? Don't interrupt. Come on. Someone write me an equation for that. How many people are there? 4. So 4x. Then what?
4x 60.
Hold up. Go ahead, Colin. 4x what?
4x equals...
Don't forget this part right here. Tell him.
4x plus 60.
4x plus 60. That's the amount of pounds that are in the boat right now. And that has to be what? Has to be... Doesn't have to be equal to 800. It has to be less than or equal to 800. All right, hold on, guys. Some of you guys, here's what the part of the frustration is. I've been talking. I've already said what page. I've already said what number. I don't care what the date is. All I care is you have a piece of paper out, and even if you don't know what the page is, you're looking right there because the numbers are right there on the board. You're too late. All right, or you can look up on your iPad and you go to today's lessons and you find out what the assignment is. I'm being interrupted. Now, does anybody have any question with 4x plus 60 has to be less than or equal to 800? Now, I'm not going to ask you to solve that right now. All right, we're just going to write the equation. All right, so now that you did that so well, let's see about number 2. All right, read number 2. And then as you're reading it, think about an equation and try to write an inequality. All right, we're trying to write an inequality for that statement right there. Come on. What do we got? Someone. I'm listening, Will. She's ordering a movie. How much is go ahead. Thanks.
10x plus 11.95 is less than or equal to 50.
Close. Somebody else. Come on, guys. So if somebody gave you $50 and said you're going to go buy a movie for $11.95 and you got to pay $10 for shipping and CDs cost $9.99, you'd have no earthly idea how many CDs you could buy. None whatsoever. That's what you're saying. I have no idea how many CDs I could purchase. That's what some of you are telling me. You have no idea. Somebody gives you $50 and says go buy as many CDs as you possibly can. You'd look at them like, I don't know what you're talking about. No idea. Say it. Come on. Tell me what. Can't be worse than anybody else. No one else has said anything. Give it a shot. The worst you can be is wrong. The worst you can be is wrong, and it doesn't matter. That means that can tell you how many movies you can buy. But I only want what? I only want one movie. Will, go.
Wait, buy 5 CDs?
5 CDs would cost me $49.95 plus $11.95 for the movie plus $10 for the shipping. That's too much. What would it be?
2.
Oh, stop, man. You're not even listening. What?
All right. So
Come on,
I don't
Colin.
exactly know the answer, but I do know the process.
Tell me the process. That's what I care about.
So 15 minus 11.95, and then the answer to that problem. Then we after that problem, we know put parentheses around it.
Okay.
That and then divided by 9.99.
That's close.
Oh.
It's close. Come on. What are you thinking? How much for a movie? How many are you buying?
1.
1. So right now you've spent $11.95. How much for a CD? Hold up. Okay, how much for a CD? $9.99. Do I know how many we can buy? So I'm going to add to that 9.99x. Now what are we going to do? We have one more thing that they're charging me for. What are they charging me for?
Shipping.
Shipping, which is how much? So there's another $10. Another $10 to ship.
Wait, but aren't shipping and sales? Doesn't it say shipping and sales tax will be $10?
Exactly.
Would that cancel it out?
No.
Oh.
No. And I'm going to explain why. All of that has to be less than or equal to what? $50. Now look, guys, I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm saying, guys, you got to be better than that. Come on, look up. I'm not even sure why some of you aren't participating and giving me your best shot. Please look up. It's costing me $11.95 for the movie that I want, right? And I'm going to have to pay $10 to ship everything that I buy, right? I have $50 in my pocket. I need what? $9.99 for every CD that I buy. So the $11.95 for the movie, plus $9.99 per CD, plus $10 to ship everything. All that has to be less than what? All that has to be less than 50. Now I don't want to write all the answers up here. Come on, I don't think that's too much to ask. Does that make sense to you now?
Yeah.
We're not solving it. And what Colin is saying is true. Okay. See, you're not coming to class prepared. You're interrupting. You walk out the door. You come back in interrupting. You don't have pencils. Man, what am I doing? Instead of causing a problem every day that you're unprepared, just get up. You can come right around me, interrupt me just without me talking, and just come up here and say, well, here's a pencil. Then come grab a pencil. Take it in your hand. If it needs to be sharpened, go sharpen it, and don't bother anybody else. That's what you're responsible for. Now what?
So for problems like these, is it always less than equal to?
No, never. It's never always. It's never in math always. Never. Never. Every single problem I want you thinking about.
Oh, so how do you know? Oh, do you know it's less than or equal to because you're trying to find something?
How much money do you have in your
less
pocket?
than or equal to
How much money do you have in your pocket?
$50.
$50. So if you go to check out and somebody says it's $75, you're going to go what?
That's $2.
I don't have the money.
Or, yeah.
All I have is what? 50. So I have to be what? Less than or equal to 50. Less than or equal to 50. Every single time, that's how I want you thinking about it. Come on, listen to what I'm saying, because that's kind of upsetting for me to hear people not have a clue how to do 1 and 2. Right? And again, I'm not even upset you didn't have a clue. I'm upset you wouldn't even want to try to tell me. Come on, you got to do better. All right? Now, today we're going to review the inequalities. All right? So I start with question number 3. All right? So everybody's going to write down question number 3. All right? And we're going to try to solve that together. Now, at this point in time, I'm expecting you to kind of leave off a few things. And what do I mean by that? How do I undo a minus 10? You add 10. You don't have to put plus 10 anymore. You can just write what? 6h is greater than or equal to what?
42.
42. That's what you can do. Now, how do I get rid of the multiplication? Division. So you should be able to say h is greater than or equal to what? 7. H is greater than or equal to 7. Somebody agreeing with me? And so now if we write it in interval notation, we start at 7 and head to infinity. Good for you.
When is it that you change like the sign?
Whenever you multiply or divide by a negative, you change the sign. Alex, is that crystal clear? Girls, I don't want you. I want you focusing only on the math, nothing else. Don't be distracted. That's perfectly fine. That problem. Miss Nelson, how are you doing? All right, write down number 4 real quick. Then let's talk about it. Now, how do I get rid of plus 9? Minus 9. So negative 3 minus 9 is what? Negative 12. Now I have 2/3. How do I get rid of 2/3? Multiply by the reciprocal, which is 3/2. Now your job is to be able to tell me what's 3/2 of negative 12. Don't say anything. 3/2 of negative 12. And again, remember these cancel. So I have less than or equal to r. Now everybody's going to tell me that the answer is negative 18. Now if you're not sure why it's negative 18, listen one more time. Divide first. Divide first. So you're doing negative 12 divided by 2, which is negative 6 times 3. That's how I'm getting the negative 18. Now, of course, we don't leave it like that. We're going to write it as r is greater than or equal to negative 18. R is greater than or equal to negative 18. Anybody have any questions or concerns? Ben, tell me, please.
So when you say outside, you change.
That's 100% correct, Ben.
So also the more
That's correct. Right. Think of it like this, Ben. Look right here, Ben. 3 is greater than 1, right? So if I write 1 compared to 3, we say 1 is less than 3. You with me? All right. So now if you're greater than or equal to negative 18 to infinity. Everybody good with that? All right. So let's give it a shot. Number 5. All right. Give you about 10 seconds. Write it down. Solve it out quickly. How do I get rid of plus 7?
Minus.
Good. So, negative 3x is greater than what? Help me.
36.
36.
And then x
I'm listening.
is less than negative 12.
Very nice. X is less than negative 12. Remember, when you multiply or divide by negative, change the sign. Everybody agree with that? And so now, if x is less than negative 12, we're going negative infinity to negative 12. Everybody okay? Allison? Not hearing anything from you. You good? I'm doing really that good today? Thank you. Yes, good.
Why isn't there a bracket?
Because it doesn't have an equal to sign. Equal to is the bracket. All right, equal to is the bracket. All right, question number 6. Now again, I always try to tell kids, try to leave the variables positive. All right, try to leave the variables positive. So subtracting 4m, subtracting 4m, subtracting 25, and subtracting 25. Now, you can leave out that step if you can. But then the negative would be.
Oh, it would.
So now I end up with negative 42 is less than 2m. So now negative 21 is less than m. So m is greater than negative 21. M is greater than negative 21. Julie, is that good? Jess? So if we're greater than negative 21, we're going from negative 21 to what? Infinity.
Wait, how come on the other column it started with like infinity first?
Because it was less than.
Oh.
Agreed? Greater than is going to positive infinity. All right, just to make sure you guys are okay. Now I want to take a look at number 7. All right, I want somebody to read number 7 and give it a good shot. Come on, I don't want you to solve it, right? I just want you to write it. Come on, sit down and then tell me. Go.
4 x plus
4x. What?
4x minus 6
Good.
is greater than, so this way.
I got you.
Towards it, and then 8 plus 2x.
Beautiful. I'm good with that. Anybody have any questions with that? All right. Now we're going to practice doing some mental math here, guys. Come on. I'm moving the 2x over to this side. So 4x minus 2x is what? 2x. Come on. Now the negative 6 goes over here. So I would be what? 14. So I would say 2x is greater than 14. X is greater than 7. And then parentheses 7 to infinity. Girls, you good? Yeah. Kate? 1. Come on now. Had a nice conference this morning. Already have parents rushing in, trying to save their babies. All right, good for you. Let's give it a shot. Go. Thank you. Come on, don't be. Good job. Yep. Beautiful. 5x plus 8. Very nice. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and solve this. So I want to move the negative 3x over because I want to try to keep the variable positive. I want to move the 8 to the other side. So if I do that, if I add 3x, then how many x's do I have? 8x. And if I subtract 8, I have what? Negative 4. Good job. Anybody have any issues with that? Any issues? Any issues? And now, be careful when you divide by 8. What do I get?
Negative 1/2.
Negative 1/2. Thank you. Thank you. Negative 1/2 is less than x. If negative 1/2 is less than x, that means x is greater than negative 1/2. You can ask me and I'll help. So now I have negative 1/2 to infinity. What?
I'm sorry. Did you get the like this.
I got negative 1/2 because 4 divided by 8 is what?
Oh, I thought it was 8 divided by 4 and then 2. Oh,
No.
oh, okay. Oh,
4/8, 1/2. Okay. Here we go. Number 9. Everybody write number 9 down. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Write number 9. Yeah. Now, instead of distributing, I can do what here, guys? Divide by 3. All right, if I divide by 3, I get, what's negative 6? Negative 2. So negative 2 less than or equal to 5v minus 2. Then you add 2 to both sides. Well, that just makes it what? 0. 0 is less than or equal to 5v, so now I divide by 5. And 0 divided by anything is?
0.
So if 0 is less than or equal to v, that means that v is greater than or equal to 0. Is everybody happy with that explanation? Is everybody agreeing with me? And now if v is greater than or equal to 0, I'm going from 0 to infinity. 0 to infinity. Do you agree with that or not, guys? Everybody good? Is that good?
Yeah.
All right, come on. Let's check out number 10. Now, number 10 is nothing special, so you have to distribute. So come on, chop, chop. Let's go. I'm putting it up there on the board. I want you to distribute quickly. Try to solve it quick. I want an answer before I start writing the answer. I want you to have the answer. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Distribute. Combine terms. All right, Emily, want to distribute. What did you get?
I got negative 5g minus 20 is greater than 3g minus 12.
Beautiful. All right. Now, I still say, guys, I really like my variables to be positive. Do you agree? So I really wish you would take the negative 5g and move it to the other side. I'll move to the other side. That becomes... But you're right. If I move the negative 5 over here, it becomes what? You agree with that? And now I got to move this over here. Yes, good job. Negative 8. Will, you good? Dividing by 8, negative 1 is greater than g. If negative 1 is greater than g, that makes g what? Less than negative 1. That makes g less than negative 1. Is everybody okay with this? And if g is less than negative 1, we're going from... Come on, guys. We got this. Everybody okay? Any questions? All right. Check out number 11. Check out number 11. Come on, write it down. Now we want to distribute and combine terms. Uh-oh. What happens to the two negative 8x's? Everybody see that? That's important now. Everybody agree those cancel, right? So now let's simplify. 3 is greater than or equal to 11. Is that true or false?
False.
3 is greater than 11?
No.
Brilliant, some of you. False. Because it's false, that means it's no solution. But I do want to ask you this. Look up. Let's just say, for example, I worked the problem and it was 3 is greater than or equal to negative 11. Now that's always what? That's always true. And if that's always true, then it would be all real numbers, or we would say from negative infinity to infinity. Is everybody okay with that? All right, if it's a true statement, it's all real numbers. If it's a false statement, it's no solution. All right? Let's keep on going now. Now, what I want to do now is, I did all of the kind of the easy ones for you. Now look, homework is going to be 12 to 28, but right now, I'm going to do the rest of the homework with you, 29 to 34. If you can pay attention and you can do 29 through 34, then the homework's going to be what? Simple. These are the hard problems. All right, so please pay attention. And some of you are still not asking questions even after I told you specifically, you got to ask in order for me to help. I can't do it all for you. All right, now we're doing the hard ones. So pay attention. On number 29, instead of distributing, I could do what? Divide by what? Negative 3. And if I divide by negative 3, what do I have to do? Switch the signs. I have to switch the signs. So in this case, I have 7n plus 3 is greater than what? Negative 2n. Whoever said that?
Me.
Good, thank you. Finally got one right.
Good job, Colin.
All right. Now again, I want the variable to stay positive. So I'm going to move the negative 2n to the other side. So how many n's does that create on the left?
1.
Total.
9.
9n. Thank you, Will. 9n is greater than. Now I have to move the 3 over. What is it?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. Thank you, Miss Bragdon. Negative 3. Now, here's the mistake people make. They accidentally just say 3 because they see a 9 and a 3. But it's not. It is n is greater than. You're going to miss it, Ben. What is the answer? Shh.
Negative 1.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah. You're dividing both sides by 9. Listen to me. I can save yourself a bunch of problems if you guys listen to me. If you're not sure, just do the mental math. Divide by 9. Divide by 9. 3 over 9 is not 3. It's a fraction. 3/9 reduces to 1/3. Right, girls? All right. So if you're greater than negative 1/3, you're going from negative 1/3 to infinity. Come on, Will. Keep going. I didn't divide by a negative. I divided by a positive. Whenever you multiply or divide by a negative, you change the sign. All right? Let's check out 30 now, please. All right? Let's go. Distribute. Combine terms. Chop, chop. You don't need my help for this. Come on, write the problem. Hey, come on. Come on. Write it down. All right, when you distribute 3a minus 21 plus 9. Is everybody okay with that? Now we have to combine negative 21 plus 9. We're combining these two. 21 is greater than or equal to 3a minus now what do I have to do to both sides? Add 12. Thank you very much. And now what? Divide by 3. Thank you. Wow. 11 is greater than or equal to a, or a is less than or equal to 11. Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
And if you're less than or equal to 11, that means you're going from negative infinity to 11 bracket. All right, I'm going to slide over for 31 now. 31, I have a problem. I want to see who knows. Come on, write it down. Let's go. Let's stop, you know. I don't want you 5 seconds behind me. I want you 5 seconds ahead of me. So as I'm doing the problem, you can see if you understand it or not. Not writing down my notes. I don't want you writing down my notes. What?
It would be like the 0 and the
What is that called? Come on, I want you to sound like a mathematician.
I forget what it's.
It's not
Oh yeah, no solution.
no solution. Thank you. Who got no solution?
Same.
Wow. Very good. All right, I feel successful today. Let's see if you're correct, though. What happens to the two y's? They cancel. So now all you're doing is saying whether or not 4 is greater than 6. It is not. Therefore, you know it is no solution. No solution. All right, moving on. We're almost done. Come on, come on. Stay with me. Everybody do 32 real quick. Copy that down. Hey, come on, 32. Let's go. When I distribute, see what you have when you distribute. 6 minus 3b is less than 10 minus 3b plus 18. Once again, what happens to the negative 3b's?
They cancel out.
They cancel out. So what am I left with? What am I left with? 6 is less than 28. Is that true or false?
True.
Is 6 less than 28?
Yes.
Is 6 less than 28?
Yes.
Yeah, good thinking. 6 is definitely less than 28. So that's a true statement. So now we say it's all real numbers. Or we're writing an interval notation. We just say from negative infinity to infinity. All right? You need to know both of those. You need to know both.
Wait,
All right?
What's the first one? Specifically getting out, like right now. That's great.
The bell didn't ring?
No, it should have been.
What time does the bell ring?
139.
I know.
All right, ding, ding, ding. There's the bell. Bye.
Oh, I heard it.